Okay, folks, today is December the 10th, 2025. I have good news. After all my research on YouTube, I found a photo done by Roy Lichtenstein with the original comic image cut out, and he has this photograph taken of him standing behind the image duplicator painting, and he's showing his eyes and the original comic image next to his head. And this is what he has identified his own self-portrait that was done in 1956. And here it is, the image right here. Here's the photo, and you can see he is behind the image duplicator image, showing his eyes, and then on the right hand side you'll see the original comic image that he copied. It was because of the image duplicator he was able to be successful in pop art and paint with no brush strokes. The next image shows him in his studio, and of all things, on the right-hand side of this photo, you can see a photo of the postoscope projector. And this was his secret weapon that enabled him to copy all the images that he did from the comic books. And that's where he became known. I give credit to Walt Disney for Mickey Mouse. I give credit to Picasso for his inspiration and being number one in art. And then I give credit to his no brush strokes and his resistance to the abstract art at the time. And it lined up. He lined up with Leonardo da Vinci and the Mona Lisa, which has no brush strokes. So the next image you'll see is the camera itself, and this is the secret weapon, and he is photographed in his studio with the original camera, and this enabled him to do pop art. I have a camera myself, or a projector myself, that I was able to buy in the market. And there it is there. The next item, it shows I think I want to bring this one up here. This is the original image cut from the comic book that was in the book Image Duplicator. And it was in the Life magazine article also. So this is the original image of the eyes, and that's where the eyes of the image duplicator came from, and my painting matches that. Here's a blow up of the image itself. You can see it there. Then in addition, I have more photos showing where he was drawing the image before he finished the painting. Okay, I'm just going to the next item here. I'm going back to the original. This is what, in my opinion, this helped me identify the painting. And of all things, Roy Lichtenstein helped identify his own self-portrait. Next, I want to read a statement from Roy Lichtenstein I found on the internet, on YouTube, and it says, he used commercial subject matter in painting, pop art, and is actually industrial painting. My work is industrial. It's what the world will soon become. That is the quote from Roy Lichtenstein. Back to the original image that helped identify my painting, the self-portrait that was done in 1956. The book, Roy Lichtenstein, 1948, 1960, History in the Making, represents the failure of Roy Lichtenstein first half of his career. He was 37 years old. He sold everything he had in his studio in Cleveland, and even put some of his art on the floor of his studio. And there's pictures in the books that I have found on that. So the book, 48 to 60, shows what he couldn't paint. He could not paint his own self-portrait. It took the image duplicator to match it up, and it's signed 1956. I'm looking at some of my notes. That's why I hesitate a little bit. Let me see what else I want to explain to you about this identification. Notice the eyes of the in the image duplicator painting. You will see the duplicator eyes are done with a blue Star of David, which matches the eyes in the self-portrait and my painting by Roy Lichtenstein. I think that is interesting. He was a real quiet individual. He liked to work hard. He had that in common with Picasso. But as far as he wasn't the prettiest person in the world, and that's why he made his portrait, the self-portrait that I have. There's a combination of looking his appearance, his style, with his face features corrected a little bit. I can explain that later if you want to ask questions later. And but he made himself look good. But I ended up buying that painting from the big old master collector out of Milwaukee. And as I recall, I paid like $1,250 for the painting. He bought it at auction in Cleveland, Ohio. So it has been in my collections since 2008. All right, let's go make some more progress. He was influenced by Walt Disney. Look at Walt Disney had a career of the cartoonist, and it was Mickey Mouse that influenced him and was part of Roy Lichtenstein's history. Thought that was interesting. He was influenced by Pablo Picasso and in his art and his working habits. And so he painted himself as to look like Pablo Picasso in his self-portrait. The only other common ground in there is Leonardo da Vinci. He had the Mona Lisa has no brush strokes, and Lichtenstein made it a point to emphasize that he had no brush strokes in his art. I'm checking the paperwork now and to make sure I've covered everything that I want to tell you about. But the big news is that the image duplicator and this photo of Roy Lichtenstein with the painting, with the cartoon image itself, is what is identifying this painting. And I have tons of research. I've been working on this almost 20 years, and be glad to answer any questions you have. But would you believe that it would take Roy Lichtenstein to help identify his own painting? And I was trying to think of something else that I want to mention before I'm running out of time. I'm not sure how much time I've used, but I want to do this one short. If you have any questions, give me a call. I am very happy to say that we are successful in our research, and you will be able to call, and I can provide more images and more information if you need it. So this will be all for now. Thank you for your time and your interest in Roy Lichtenstein.